Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the program. This segment is going out live on the broadcast waves of Al Ansar in Durban and Pietermaritzburg, One Nation FM out in Polokwane, live streaming on Salam Media and on the satellite radio broadcast, as well as on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Salam Media, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/Salam Media. And I'd like to welcome to the airwaves none other than the director at Penny Appeal South Africa, Shahnaaz Paruk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Shahnaaz.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Always a pleasure to be on with you, Azhar.
Yes, the month of Ramadan has passed us by. It's gone like it started yesterday and it's already completed, and 2-3 weeks down the line. We're looking at the time of Hajj coming up very soon. But this is really where the work starts for humanitarian organizations like yourselves that have been busy in the month of Ramadan, calling on support, calling on people to donate. We had the COVID crisis, but now it's about delivering to the recipients. What have you been busy with in the last few weeks?
The last few weeks have been really imperative for us. Firstly, for us to be able to understand where we are as an organization, to recap in terms of the assistance that we've rendered to date, to be able to look at what projects we're further able to continue with, or in some cases not continue with. It's also been a matter of concluding on our Ramadan reporting. So Ramadan food packs that were delivered, Fitra food packs, alhamdulillah, this year was a really large Fitra project that we did within South Africa. So that's been met really, really well. And then obviously with anything that we do, looking at the continuity into communities thereafter. So continuing with providing relief aid in the form of food vouchers now. I would say at least 80% of all of our food distributions to communities and households are now basically on the food voucher system, with the balance at least 20% allowing for rural areas to still have access to actual food packs that are delivered to them. We've also been working alongside Meal SA, and they're doing some fantastic work in terms of trying to achieve an objective of providing bags of maize meal to underserved communities. Now, as a basic pantry item, we found that that's been met really, really well in communities. So we've been busy distributing that in partnership and collaboration with Meal SA. And over and above that, we've also been paying attention to some of our other projects, such as the mobile medical bus, gearing up for Qurbani, so our procurement and trying to, source the best possible suppliers, Sharia compliant procurement ideologies, obviously. That's basically been what's keeping us busy.
Let's take a look at that medical bus that you spoke about there, because I believe that in COVID-19 and the new, medical challenges that we are facing, the lack of beds, lack of supplies, sometimes getting into deep, far rural areas where facilities are not available, something like this would really be a major asset to the community here in South Africa.
Most definitely. We've been talking to the company that we've partnered with in terms of how can we best utilize this, this project or this product of ours. Obviously, with schools now being closed for a long time, it hasn't been possible for the bus to achieve its intended objective, which was providing primary dental and eye health care to children in underserved communities. So with that being said, I think the conversation is now very much around how can the mobile vehicle, the mobile bus be utilized not only for children, but for adults as well. And as we're seeing lockdown regulations and restrictions easing somewhat, easing in the sense that it makes it easier for us to be able to now start providing these services. A lot more thought is going into how we're going to be able to allow this bus to function as a testing station. We've done a small pilot in terms of trying to establish if the testing station will be well met within the community, within collaboration with the Department of Health in Western Cape and Western Cape government. It's been a really tiny pilot project because we wanted to see what the impact would be like and how it would be met, but that's been met really, really well. Now that we're seeing there is a gradual move to focus a lot more on healthcare, testing becomes one primary objective for the COVID-19. But over and above that, we're also understanding that we're moving into the winter months here in South Africa, or winter is here. I'm sure where you are in Johannesburg is probably freezing already. So being able to offer communities that, or adults rather, the basic health screening and testing they need, because we know full well what is the impact and repercussions going to be within the winter months, especially in vulnerable communities, especially now it's that much harder for them to be able to access medical attention if they need it. So that's underway currently, and we'll definitely keep you posted in terms of, inshallah, where it's going to be operating from, which communities specifically, and if there is opportunity, inshallah, if we have enough funding, to move it over to Johannesburg as well.
Yes, I'd like to see people contributing in a manner in which we have a sustainable project of medical assistance going forward. And this would be an excellent contribution that you can make to, I mean, what's the possibility of having several mobile clinics operating perhaps in each different province under the banner of Penny Appeal? Is that something that you'd perhaps like to see one day, Shahnaaz?
I think if we talk about this being a dream, especially a dream of mine and perhaps the Penny Appeal team, we'd love to have this in every province within South Africa. We'd love to even see it in the likes of Zimbabwe. I said, I know you guys are really, in the know in terms of what the situation is like in Zimbabwe. We'd love to take it everywhere. Obviously, the only restriction we have literally is funding, because these buses are, if we look at the technical aspect, they're literally kitted out with a chassis that is a truck chassis. And so those conversions are really, really expensive, which is why we opted to keep it as a single vehicle and rather invest funding into the actual service that can be offered to communities. It's a brilliant project, alhamdulillah. It's really a solution. I did say we're all about mobile solutions at Penny Appeal. However, it's the cost factor that's really, it can be actually very stifling if you think about it in terms of the investment. But I'm confident that with one vehicle or one bus and planning that goes into it, and then being able to rally the right type of support, inshallah, it will become a reality where we will have it visiting different areas and different cities. Being able to offer, the ultimate end game is obviously being able to offer the health services to underserved communities.
Now, I know South African public and people that may be watching overseas and wherever they may be, this is something really that you can contribute towards. It's an ongoing project. It's going to take healthcare to some of the most underprivileged people in South Africa and even beyond the boundaries of South Africa. So get donating, get contributing. It's an ongoing thought. It's not going to end, at that point. As long as that person is healthy, they're going to do whatever good work they do out there in the community. Some kids that couldn't see perhaps, or couldn't hear, or whatever they're facing, it's going to be a doctor or a lawyer or somebody somewhere someday, and it could be through your good contribution. So get down donating to the Penny Appeal team. Now, what other projects are you running going forward? We know Udaya and the slaughtering Qurbani is coming up ahead, but what other projects are you involved in?
Qurbani is that's one of our primary seasonal campaigns, and that takes quite a lot of effort from the team in terms of ensuring that, firstly, our procurement element runs off really smoothly, Sharia compliant, and being able to source, the best possible supplies from local stockers or local farmers, if you'd call it that. Over and above that, we're also focusing a lot on our partnership recently with Peace Train. And Peace Train is a project of the Yusuf Islam Foundation. Now, this project is quite intensive because it entails basically being able to run it for the period of over a year. With lockdown, I suppose, there's khair and everything. With lockdown, we were actually restricted in terms of being able to get those vehicles out on the road, get them branded, do the community interactions. But the Peace Train project is actually a fantastic collaboration, because what it looks at doing is providing communities. We've identified specific communities across Johannesburg, across Cape Town, and across Durban. And that means that they're able to get a regular supply, ongoing supply of food packs that are handed to them. But on the days of distribution, there's obviously, awareness campaigns that are held around various topics, around health issues, around child protection and wellness, sustainable livelihoods, healthy lifestyle. We touched on all of this a while earlier. And over and above that, there are food packs or food seedlings that are provided to them, and they are then trained on how to obviously create their own little food garden to be able to sustain themselves. The end game is to be able to have a food co-op of sorts within a community, so that communities are not, ever in a position where they say we have nothing. There should always be something. And we're firm believers that, giving back to communities to teach them how to grow their own food is imperative. So Peace Train, alhamdulillah, we're working on getting that project up and running, and we will be sharing the details of it once it is live. Aside from Peace Train, it's our ongoing, which is ensuring that the orphans that we take care of under the Orphans and Vulnerable Children Fund still receive their regular supplies of what's needed. With winter now well on the way, we're looking at revisiting our project that we did last year out in Cape Town, which is called Lumkani, and that's providing early warning systems to informal settlements so that in the event of shack fires, they're able to evacuate and you mitigate the risk of loss of life. So it's a really great project. We're really looking forward to kickstarting it again this year. And inshallah, that's what our focus will be for the months coming.
Shahnaaz Paruk, Director CEO of Penny Appeal South Africa. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Wonderful speaking to you again. If people want to get involved, want to contact you, how do they do that?
We love hearing from people, so please feel free, follow us on social media. We're constantly updating, especially our Instagram and Facebook. You can find us there with the handle Penny Appeal SA or search Penny Appeal South Africa. Feel free to visit our website, which is www.pennyappeal.org.za. Alternatively, we have a WhatsApp line if you're one of those that enjoy WhatsApps, and that is 081-407-2753. And our email, if anybody would like to reach out, our email address, you can get us at info@pennyappeal.org.za.
Shahnaaz Paruk, go well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.